Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing something a little different from the norm. It won't be a hair video as usual. I actually wanted to speak about my weight loss journey. Basically why and just the process and just a little background about myself. This is a very hard video for me to record just because there's so much to it and there's a lot of emotional things to it as well. It's not as easy as it sounds, and you know, it's hard to kind of come out about yourself and kind of, you know, the background of yourself, and just it's just a hard thing to do. So I have a few notes about what I want to speak about, and I'm going to try to stay on track with you guys and just, you know. So the reason why I decided to start a weight loss journey, there are two main reasons for that. The first one being is how I felt. So I didn't feel good. Emotionally, health-wise, all of that. I didn't feel good. There were times where I would go and, let's say, you know, we were gonna go out, and I would go to my closet and I couldn't find things to wear. A closet full of clothes, and I couldn't find things to wear. And don't get me wrong, I know this happens to everyone, but the way that it was happening to me, it was, you know, just totally different. Nothing fit. So I would sit there and I would literally burst into tears and say to myself, like, oh my gosh, nothing fits. Like, I had specific clothes that fit me. I basically lived in leggings because my jeans did not fit. I have over 20 pairs of jeans and none of them would fit. So just imagine that, you know? And I refused to go into a store and buy a size up. I would just say to myself, like, I'm not gonna do that. There's no way. So that always led me to feeling like I literally had nothing to wear. So that's the first reason. Again, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with, you know, being chubby and being comfortable with yourself. I personally, for myself, was just not comfortable. It wasn't me. I didn't like how I looked. And it doesn't matter what people tell you, because there was plenty of people in my life that would tell me, oh, you look fine. Oh, but you're pretty for a chubby girl, whatever. Like, you're stressing yourself out. No, like, I did not feel good. And no matter what anyone tells you, if you are not happy with yourself, no one is gonna make you feel better unless you make yourself feel better. So that was one of the reasons. The second reason was just my health. Like, I was suffering from like high cholesterol. I was like out of breath because I just was heavy. Like, I was out of breath. Like, if I was going up the stairs, walking up the block, like walking to my car, like, I just felt heavy, and it's just not a good feeling. So once I felt like that, you know, I said, I need to do something. I need to change. I would go to the doctors and they would obviously tell me the same thing. You need to lose weight, you know. One of the issues that I have is that I was having irregular periods. So I had an irregular period from the very first moment that I ever that I began my menstrual cycle. So there would be times where I would last 6 months without having a period, which is not normal. So come to find out, after going to an endocrinologist, I have PCOS. So PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and basically it's a hormonal disorder causing enlarged ovaries with small cysts on the outer edges. It's a combination of genetic and environmental factors. So when it comes to polycystic ovarian syndrome, There's different symptoms, which I already said one of them, which is menstrual irregularity, excess hair growth, acne, which I've never really suffered from acne. Yeah, I've gotten like little pimples or whatever, but nothing out of this world. But the main one is obesity. So when it comes to PCOS, there's like different ways of treating it. I'm not a healthcare, I'm not a doctor, so I can't sit here and tell you all the ins and outs about PCOS. But obesity was my biggest issue. So no matter what I did, it was very difficult for me to lose weight. I tried different diets. I tried meal replacement shakes. I tried meal plans. I did exercise. Nothing worked. Like, the most that would happen is that maybe I would lose like a pound a month, 2 pounds a month, maybe. But it wasn't even like an every month thing. And don't get me wrong, when you're on a weight loss journey, there's gonna be months that you don't lose anything, and there'll be months that you do lose, but the way it happened with me was that no matter what month it was, I barely wasn't losing any weight. So once I went to an endocrinologist and I was diagnosed with PCOS, I tried birth control. Birth control regulated my menstruation, but it didn't really do anything in regards to the weight. So the doctor ended up putting me on a medication called metformin, which metformin is typically used for type 2 diabetics, but it's also used for obesity to help you kind of bring down the insulin resistance, which I had due to the PCOS. And that, it didn't really do anything. All it really did was mess up my stomach really, really bad. Like, I couldn't eat certain things. There was times that I would eat and like I just couldn't stomach it. There was a time where, like, for example, one time I ate seafood and I felt really sick from eating seafood, so I was like never able to eat seafood again. I recently started eating seafood in the past year again. I got off of that, and my doctor decided to put me on another medication, which is called Victoza, another medication that is typically used for type 2 diabetics. For the record, I'm not diabetic, but it's something that is used also for obesity and for insulin resistance due to PCOS. That also messed with my stomach. Didn't do anything. I did it for maybe a little less than a year. Nothing. So after that, it was just mainly diet. Another problem that I have is hypothyroidism. My thyroid situation, it's not the worst. There's people that are on medication. I never had it so bad that I had to be on medication. But my doctor did warn me that whenever I decided to conceive, I would have to be on medication. So I don't know if that's something that's still gonna be needed when I decide to conceive. I don't know. I'm not ready for that right now, but I'm guessing that when I get there, I'll know. I'm hoping that I don't, since I lost weight, but who knows. After the medications, this has been going on for like a little less than 2 years. I tried all of that. Again, I tried all these diets. I tried the gym. I tried everything. Another issue that I was having was that I have a problem with my foot, my left foot, where it's called like a tarsal collision. It's basically bones that rub against each other and never like grew apart. So since I have that, I ended up with arthritis on my foot. Therefore, whenever I would go work out, I couldn't work. Like, I was able to work out, but as soon as I would get home, my foot would literally be on fire. Like, it would hurt so bad that it was so painful that I wanted to go to the gym, but all I could think about was the pain that would come with the gym. So that was a problem. The weight was not helping that problem. So there's that. After going through that trial and error, I would speak to the doctor, and I was doing research, obviously, of things that I can try and things like that. I then decided to explore the option of weight loss surgery. So when it comes to weight loss surgery, you have to like qualify and things like that, but not everyone qualifies. And also another thing was that I didn't know if that would, like, I knew that I had weight problems, but I never really realized how bad it was till I tried everything. And when it comes to your weight, it's not just the outside, it's the in. Like, it was affecting everything. It was affecting how I reacted to things. I was always like in a bad mood because I just wasn't happy. It just affects literally everything. And it's something that until you don't fix it, is just not gonna fix anything else. Not a lot of people obviously know that I had weight loss surgery, so if you're watching this video, you now have found out the story behind my weight loss. I had a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, which is usually known by the term of VSG. So when you have a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, basically what happens is that the surgeon removes a large portion of your stomach. The new, smaller stomach is about the size of a banana. It limits the amount of food you can eat by making you feel full after eating small amounts of food. So there you go. That's my truth. This is something that it's very hard for me. It's not hard for me to talk about, but it's something that for months I've been, I guess you can say, afraid to talk about. The reason is because, one, not a lot of people are educated about what VSG is. I also didn't want people to think like, oh, you know, she took the easy way out, because if you stepped in my shoes and went through what I went through, you would understand that it's not the easy way out. If anything, it's even more work because you've altered your stomach. There's no going back. You have to do what you have to do to make sure you don't hurt yourself, you know? So I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy October 9th of 2019, so this past fall. I am 7 months out, and it has been one heck of a journey, but all I can say is that I am so glad that I did it. I am so glad. I'm so happy, because I literally would not be where I am right now on my own. Like, it's not the easy way out. It's literally, it's a tool to help you get to where you need to be. And so for the surgery, you have to get off birth control. I got off birth control a month prior to my surgery, and I never got back on. They recommend you to get back on it just because it's easier for you to get pregnant, since you are losing a lot of weight at a rapidly. But I decided not to get back on it, and it was probably the best decision I did, because I now have a regular period with no birth control, with no medication. I do not take any medication. The only thing I take are my vitamins that are required due to the fact that I have a smaller smaller stomach, because the nutrients, you don't eat a lot, so there's a lot of nutrients that you might not be absorbing from the food, so you have to take vitamins for the rest of your life. But I mean, it's the best decision I could have ever made, honestly. Like, I have regular periods, I work out, and I have zero pain on my foot. Zero. That right there is huge. Unless you truly know me and you've been around me, you don't know the pain that I was in when it comes to my foot. The pain that I was having was so intense that I would cry, and I would go to the gym and I would have pain 3 days after and the pain will still be the same. And guess what? That would make me not want to go back to the gym because I would fear that pain. I don't get pain anymore. I walk and walk. I went bike riding yesterday. I don't even know how many miles. No pain whatsoever. Another thing is that like the weight I've lost over 50 pounds in 7 months. There are people that get the vertical sleeve gastrectomy and they lose a lot more weight than that in 7 months, but I'm on the lower end, so when you're bigger, you lose weight much faster than when you're smaller. So the amount that I've lost, I mean, honestly, like if I wanted to stay at the weight that I am right now, I can. I have a goal and I do want to lose more weight. Not necessarily in pounds, but I want to be more fit. Like I want to tighten up. There's areas of my body that I want to work on, like my stomach, my arms, things like that. So it's not necessarily that I want to lose more numbers. I do, but it's not as important as me just being fit and just kind of, just being fit and like working on those body parts. But honestly, it's the best decision I could have ever made, and this is just an introductory video of my weight loss and how and why, and I am gonna make more videos about the process of VSG and things like that, because there's just so much to it, and I feel like I want to educate people because there are tons of videos out there about VSG, but I want to educate the people around me that I have on social media about it, because I feel like people don't know about it enough, and I feel like I can help with that. And I want people to understand me also, and just kind of understand why I do certain things or why I'm so passionate about certain things, because this is something that I'm super passionate about, and that's why I decided that I want my channel to not only be about hair, because I obviously love talking about curly hair and products and stuff like that, but I want to talk about health, and I want to talk about weight loss, and I want to be here to encourage people and be that voice. It's not easy, but you're not alone, and there's ways, if you put your mind to it and you explore and you kind of open up your options, there's ways. And I am so happy. And honestly, like, I was afraid to tell people because I know some people, like, I have mentioned it to certain people and they'll be like, oh my god, but you weren't even big, like why would you do that, blah blah blah. If I show you my before and after pictures, you would understand. If you were able to transport inside my body, you would understand. And I am so happy and so glad that I made this decision, and I just want your support, because this was very hard for me to come out and speak about, but I felt like I needed to, and I need to be true to myself and just say why I'm so happy. Like, I'm a different person. Like, it has changed so many aspects of my life, emotionally, physically, all of that, and there's nothing that I would change. So if you have been looking into VSG, don't be afraid to like DM me in my IG account so that we can talk about it. I can help you out and tell you speak about the process and just things like that and all of that. Like, I'm so open and I'm so passionate about it that I want to be there for other people. So that's my truth. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that. I am gonna be putting up a lot of weight loss content, not necessarily only about VSG, because it's a lot of the things that I do a regular person can do. It's just that obviously I eat less but the meals that I have, you can have if you want to lose weight. You just have more. Everybody has a certain amount of calories that they should go by. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you follow me along, and again, follow my channel, subscribe, like, all of that. And thank you for allowing me to share my story. Bye guys.